Right now, Niall Stanage, White House columnist for The Hill. Niall, I know you were traveling with the president this weekend and in Delaware when he made his remarks about the tragedy. Isn't this the time when a commander-in-chief is needed more than ever?
Yeah, I think that's a completely fair point. And President Biden, in those remarks at the weekend, was talking about this being a time when we are not Democrats or Republicans, but are Americans. I think that idea that this is a kind of moment that calls for unity and a transcendence of the typical, rather petty divisions we sometimes see, I think that's a valid call.
It seems as though, especially now, when we're still in the throes of dealing with the pandemic and hospitalizations and entering the cold weather and then this, for American people who are already grief-weary, what would be a great message for the president to send at a time like this?
I think in situations like this, presidents really have to prove two things, Adrian. One is that they care, and the other one is that they can spearhead a competent response. President Biden does, as one of his political strengths, have a good capacity to empathize with people, particularly when they're suffering. But obviously, there's going to be a lot of scrutiny right now on the government response. Can they get aid to Kentucky and these several other states that have been so hard hit in a quick and efficient manner?
Yeah, and it is not something that has not been seen before. You know, we have had tornado activity and this kind of disaster, perhaps maybe not as widespread across 8 states. But when you couple that with the COVID protocols, that could make things challenging, correct?
Yes, I suppose it could. I mean, I think it could make things challenging both on a practical level and on a political or psychological one. As you mentioned, I think the nation is rather wearied of all sorts of difficulties that are related to the COVID pandemic. And then on top of that, these states that have received such devastating news, such a devastating development, it's a very difficult situation.
We do have to ask you one question just in terms of the jobs report and inflation. There's a new poll out that shows more than 2/3 of Americans disapprove of how the president is handling inflation. So what is it going to take for the president to actually have more harmony with voters at this time?
Well, the inflation issue is a very serious one because it affects voters so directly and so immediately. I think more broadly, we're talking about an improvement in the economy, which is related, of course, to the recovery from COVID. If those two things come together, I think that will improve the president's ratings. But harmony, to use your word, is still something that is in very short supply, unfortunately.
Yeah, could be a long way off. Niall Stanage, thank you as always. Thank you so much for watching. Make sure to click on the red subscribe button below so you can get more of News Nation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.